All right, how is everyone doing? Thanks for checking out my channel. I'm Rich Celenza. I'm actually in Manhattan right now. Behind me is the Warner building, the Warner Center, as they would like to call it. I'm by Broadway and Columbus. I'll give you a shot that way. Actually, I'll give you a panoramic shot. It's very beautiful. You don't need my face in there. There's some fountains. It's really pretty over here. Let me walk over here. You'll see a better view over here. So, what I wanted to get into today is, I'd like to do some more videos in New York. It's such a beast. Nothing's like New York in North America. Nothing's even remotely close. I'm from Chicago. It dwarfs Chicago. And that's nothing against Chicago. Chicago is obviously a global city. Unbelievable transportation, beautiful architecture, everything. But in New York's just on a scale, just so much more massive than everywhere else. I just came in from Boston. I was in Chicago not too long ago, and the one thing I'm going to tell you about New York is if you do come here, if you've never been here, you have got to be prepared to move and go forward. There's no stopping you once you get here. If you plan on coming to New York, be prepared a little bit, right? And it's hard to do. I understand, like their subway, situation is very, it's very ongoing. It's not easy. It's not super complicated. It's very reasonably priced to travel through Uber and Lyft now, and that's no disrespect to taxi cabs, but taxi cabs actually in New York I think are probably cheaper than anywhere else. They're definitely cheaper, I think, than Chicago, San Francisco, and other major cities like that. So that's another way, but if you do have to take the subway, it's an experience in itself. You're going to end up like seeing entertainment on the subway. You get to see all different types of people, which is amazing. And it's really the cheapest way to go. You just kind of learn the system. If you have a cell phone, obviously nowadays it's a lot easier than it used to be when I used to come to New York. So kind of if you go through your cell phone and apps, it kind of tells you what trains you have to hit, where to go to find the subway system, or where to, just to go through it is much easier. But again, in New York, the one thing you gotta remember also is protecting yourself. You have to understand you're in a major city, a major market. A lot of people don't understand until they get here how many people are actually here, especially during certain times of the day, obviously in the morning, or obviously around dinner time, or when a lot of the businesses are being let out. And again, depending on what district you're in, it just gets crazy here. And you gotta make sure you don't get your pockets picked. You gotta make sure even in your hotels, there's a lot of theft in every major city. I'm not just saying that in New York, but you really have to learn to protect yourself. Very similar to when I go to Italy, and that's you really have to protect yourself. You don't know what's going to happen because it's just so much congestion. It's so chaotic. It's very busy. It's easy to forget things. It's easy to lose things. It's easy to get caught up in this city. Like they say, it never shuts down. That is definitely the truth. So anyways, I just want to do a quick video on New York and just tell people to really be prepared when you come here. Also on a financial level, make sure you have enough money. I don't think a lot of times people understand how much money they're going to spend here, even though they're thinking, well, I'm going to eat reasonable. I'm going to eat pizza. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat that. I'm not going to go into a lot of expensive restaurants. My uncle used to have a famous saying when he used to travel actually to Orlando, Florida, and Disney. He'd be like, the money is spent. Like it's already spent before you even get here. And it's true about New York. It is not a cheap place to be. The only other place I'd say that's more expensive in North America, I would say it teeter-totters on San Francisco. DC's kind of expensive. Vancouver's very expensive in Canada. I'm not gonna lie about that. But New York is definitely in your pocket. Even when you get hotels, you're gonna get smaller rooms. But I will say one thing about New York, it has everything that you've ever wanted. If you want to find something, New York is the place. Nothing is like New York. I don't care what you're looking for, certain cologne, perfume, style, design, whatever it is, you can find it here. You just got to really figure out where to find it here, but I can assure you, most likely, whatever you see in a magazine or whatever you see on a commercial, whatever you see anywhere, for the most part, you are going to find it here. So there's no excuse as far as that goes. So definitely keep that in mind. If you're looking for something unique, New York is the place you're going to find it. When you fly in, I think it's irrelevant. You could go LaGuardia or you could go, I just flew in actually on JFK. Both airports are extremely, both airports are close, I guess you could say, to Manhattan for the most part. Any of the bureaus, that's where you're gonna fly in. It wouldn't stay near the airport as far as hotel goes. Definitely you wanna kind of get out of there If you don't want to stay in Manhattan, you might want to try Secaucus or some areas of Jersey where you don't have to get, you don't have to necessarily stay in the city. Some people don't like to spend that money. Some people don't like the noise. They don't like the expense. So anyways, I would recommend going and staying in Jersey if you don't want to stay in Manhattan, obviously. What else do I have? Man, New York has some of my favorite restaurants. It has Italy, the original one I used to go to, which has all the, I think, the best Italian shopping center, I guess you could say. I mean, the food's good too, amazing pizza. But if you're looking for everything being very authentic as far as Italian, Italy is the place to go, especially the one in New York. It has all the lunch meats, it's got the wines, it has beer, it has all the different pastas. A lot of it is imported from Italy, no bullshit. There's also one in Chicago. There's one in California, near it's in Santa Monica. Where else is there? Oh, there's an Italy in Boston, that's at the Prue building. And so those are amazing places to go. I've been to the ones in Italy too. They're just unbelievable. So remember Italy, and I'm not gonna start listing all the damn restaurants in New York by any means. For the most part, the food in New York's amazing, especially the seafood, steak. If you don't have great food in New York, you will not survive. I mean, that's the truth. I say that about a lot of major cities, but New York really is that. I try to stick with the locals as much as I could because I think that's just a funner kind of culture. And there are tons of chains, obviously, if you go to Times Square or any of these places. Great to visit. I don't necessarily think they're great to eat at. That's just my opinion. But I am gonna wrap it up with that, I think. So if you get a chance, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna always be posting different places and unique things I do all over North America and coming up Italy. Yeah, if you get a chance, check out my podcast, The Rich Celenza Show. WTF are you talking about? And I'm also running a online program. It's called Mastering Self-Confidence. It's the blueprint to helping men find the woman of their dreams, even if they've been through a bad breakup or divorce. All right, well, if you're traveling, safe travels, and I wish you nothing but the best.